Azura is back after 2 years to turn things on their heads, and we've got a ton of fodder, lots of toys. Let's get into it with Mozu first. So, we're coming up on an interesting archetype here. An interesting art as well. We have a Lance infantry unit, and what she really wants to be is a melee frontliner. The problem is right now in the meta, there isn't a whole lot of place for those. Omni tanks are the way you want to end turn, and melee frontliners are more for far saviors and going in front of them. This is still a really good unit though. So this is Forager Naginata. We have Slang, an Omni 5+X, a flat DR equals X, and a healing equals X. And X is the number of allies within 3 spaces times 3 plus 1 max 10. And if you're within 2 spaces of difficult terrain, not impassable, but difficult, X equals 10. Now, to allies within 3 spaces, you get defense res +6 and special acceleration. You're gonna see this a lot. A lot of these units have some interesting support things, and the combination of those two is really nice. I will also say the fodder on this unit is really, really nice. Let's go in. Bonus doubler 4 combined with Lagoo's Friend 4 is one of my favorite things right now, but we have attack speed Bulwark 4, which is great and provides healing and damage reduction and keeps units from moving past you. It's the way you really become a pseudo save, and it's why I think this unit would pair well if you wanted to stick them in front of someone like Byleth. The problem is units like Byleth don't generally need that, but that is something that this unit can do. We have attack speed Oath 4, which is good, not amazing, but in order to get this unit around, that's nice. The main place you're going to want to use this unit is going to be Aether Raid's offense though, and most of the time you have other ways to get units around, so you're probably going to want to replace that with something else. Still, excellent unit. Next we have Puppet Master, and this is one of my favorite things I have seen to date. Like art-wise, the sprites in this game just continually get better, and look at that thing. That is hilarious and kind of frightening and also good. But let's go over what exactly everything does. And this is Perspicacious, which Ilya swore that I was going to pronounce incorrectly, so hopefully I got it right. This weapon gives you Slang. It gives you in-combat debuffs on attack and defense equal to number of allies within 7 rows and columns times 3 plus 6 max of 15, and a 50% damage piercing. So that's excellent along with Dagger 7. The thing that sets this unit apart again is the attack defense res +4 to allies within 7 rows and columns, and that's a huge swath of space right there, as well as giving out 30% piercing. 30% is lower than you'd like, but it is still piercing, and that is good. This is an interesting support, and again, the art is absolutely fantastic. Past that though, you get Fire Flood Boost 3, which is now going to be in the standard pool, which is amazing. You get Sabotage, Attack Defense 3, which is new, but same flavor of some older things we've done. And we need to let this play just so we can see that weird puppet thing one more time, because this is nutty looking, and I kind of love it. So, it flails about, it smacks things. This is the greatest horse that has ever been invented in Fae. Next up we have our Demote. Alright, this is not a unit that's going to light the world on fire, but I want you to look at this unit more as what's being put into the standard pool. This is nice. For one thing, Wind Sweep is a skill that before this had to be gotten off of Grails and was really tough. But Routher Lantern Plus at start of turn, if unit within 2 spaces of an ally grants, unit cannot be slowed by terrain. We've seen this a ton, that's excellent. And special cooldown charge +1 per attack during combat to unit for 1 turn. That's good. This is not amazing. It's not something that's going to, blow things up, but it's nice to have this as an inheritable that you can get out of the standard pool. You get Moonbow, you get Attack Speed Ideal 3, which is nice. We already have that, but again, nice. And then we get Wind Sweep. It is always good when they start putting more access to skills. We'd like that to happen more, so we need to praise them when it does occur. All right, here's the thing you came to see, right? We want to see what Azura is doing, and the Attuned, this unit has a lot of interesting things, and I like the way they put this together. I love the dancer renaissance that we've been seeing lately. The fact that this is also a fodder factory is amazing, and right off the bat you see that she has Wings of Mercy. We're going to get to that in a little bit. Let's talk about Tri-Path Splitter first. Okay, we have speed +3, you have distance traveled +1, max of 4. So if you think about what she just did where she warped across the map, that is the minimum distance from start to end point, and then she can canto away from that as long as there isn't canto control. Keep in mind she is melee. This is an axe unit, so she will at least get canto 1. She will also get an Omni +5 in combat. But the nice thing about this Tri-Path Splitter is the 2 unit and allies within 2 spaces. You get attack speed +6 as a visible buff. You get null follow-up as a bonus, and null panic as a bonus. And you know it's coming with Change of Waters, and null panic is critical for what Azura does. Null follow-up is also something that's really good, and the fact that you can give this out through a dance is nice. If you combine this with some of the newer dance skills, the Rock Slide and the Firestorm dance, you can get some really interesting things on your units. So let's get to the dance here, because that's when things start getting interesting, but it doesn't end there. We have Changing Waters, and this is kind of standard from what you've seen. You get the danced ally gets +1 movement, and this excludes ranged calves, and then you get incited to target an allies within 2 spaces. So, good stuff, right? Incited is already a good skill, and it worked kind of like Clash, so that is nice to have on units and can be very handy for units that are attacking. This very much looks like a dancer for any kind of player phase or attacking strategies, as opposed to something for defensive strategies. We have Firestorm Boost 3, which I am in love with and is an excellent skill. It is great to have this on a unit that you can hand it out to other units from. We have Attack Defense Cantrip 3. If Singer Dance is used, inflicts attack defense -7 and sabotage on foes in cardinal directions of unit and target through their next action. That is a nice upgrade to the cantrip skills. I'm not going to tell you have to go out and get this skill though. I would really prefer one of the new dances to this. There's just so many ways that you can get sabotage on units. That's still quite nice though. We have Crossbow Attack, which I'm a big fan of, but I'm probably replacing it with something else because there are some really nice supportive skills. Then we have Mercy Wing Echo, and this is if an ally's HP is less than or equal to 50%, unit can move to a space adjacent to that ally. I think in the Discord they said it best when this is really expensive Wings of Mercy. I want you to keep something in mind though. We have been waiting for a Wings of Mercy seal for a long time, and the reason is we have a lot of units with a preference B that we'd like to be able to still have that preference B and be able to also use Wings of Mercy. Think about Nerthuz or even Fallen Edelgard, who makes a fairly decent secondary initiator on a Wings of Mercy team. This means that you still can't use the Preference B skill unless you're an attuned or rearmed unit. This is less than amazing. It's going to be good on some units, but for the most part, I am not super high on this. It's still good. I like Guard Echo better, and eventually we'll rank the attuned skills on here and we'll see how things stack up. But this is good. It's not something that's going to be absolutely earth-shattering, which honestly, we've had a lot of earth-shattering, so it's nice to kind of put that on hold. All right, let's get to the tier list, and first I want to talk about Mozu, and the thing with this unit, I've got her in Omni Tanks because that is the closest fit that I can find for her. There's a couple things here. To be an Omni Tank, you have to be at the tip top of the meta. And for all of you Lagoo's Friend 4 Dimitri fans, you'll notice that he is in tier 1 along with Corrin. These units are fantastic as Omni Tanks right now. Get them in the Sims, try them out. Back to Mozu. Mozu is a melee frontliner, and the reason I don't rank these is because they don't have a huge spot in the meta. So if you are in need of one of those, then she is amazing for you. If you want to make her into an Omni Tank, which is a more useful role right now, she's going to be a bit of a struggle, but I mean, you guys saw me do it with Sharena. And if I could do it with Sharena, you can do it with Mozu. Like, don't think that this is a bad unit just because they're in tier 3. This unit is very usable. You have to be a little more creative as an Omni tank user if you're going to use her there. You have to be a little more creative as an Omni tank user if that's where you're going to use her. Okay, to all you folks who like Yukimura a lot, understand that support heroes is the most competitive archetype in the entire game right now. Look at the fact that Alencia, who is incredible, is in tier 4. Think about that and know that I'm putting Yukimura in that same realm. This is still a good unit, there are a lot of great supports right now. The thing that I like less about Yukimura is I have some doubts over how good of a nuke that he's going to be. And you've got to understand that all of these units perform multiple roles, and that's how they get so high. Even back to Alencia. Alencia, if you're looking at her as a unit as a whole, she would rank very high. This is just in the support category she ranks low. The thing with Yukimura is this is his main role is as support, and he doesn't have a whole lot other to offer. If you come up with an amazing way to use him as a nuke, tag me. I always love to see when I'm wrong about these units and that they're just amazing and they're different things. I like to see places where I didn't imagine units and they just thrive. So please let me know on that. This is still a good unit. Like tier 4 on a support heroes tier list is still good. Citrine carries my anima defense. Keep that in mind. So we talked about Hayato, and understand that just because they're in tier 4 doesn't mean I don't like the unit. In this particular case, we talked about things that this unit is adding to the meta. Different skills and different stuff in general. Like I'm a fan of this unit. Just as far as meta rankings, he's not going to be absolutely earth-shattering. Now again, remember, support heroes really competitive. So we've got Azura in tier 1, not tier 0. The problem with tier 0 is they do a lot of things. If you think about Camilla being an amazing nuke plus an amazing support, that's the same thing with Robin. Robin is absolutely phenomenal. I've been playing with that unit and she is incredible. The units in tier 1 are also incredible. I mean, honestly, the units all the way through tier 4 on this list. Amazing. Azura brings a lot, and particularly if you're a Gale Force aficionado, I think this unit is going to do a lot of fun things for you. The idea of having this unit being able to swoop in and smack things is a lot of fun. I do wish she would have had special acceleration somewhere in there. That would have been something that really would have set her apart. For Cavs, it's something that's really hard to get. You generally have to use Heavy Blade or get it through some sort of support like Mozu. But I still like this unit, and I think there are going to be a lot of uses for her. As a fodder factory, I have her in tier 1. The tier 0 units have either just a ton of things to give, a lot of uses as a unit, or a really good attune skill, or a combination of all of the above. I am just a huge fan of the tier 0 units. But I'm also a big fan of the tier 1 and tier 2 units, and really all the way down to tier 3. Tier 4 gets harder to use, but that doesn't make them bad. Understand that a lot of what makes a good fodder factory is how much you've put into them. We have come to the point where Cavs have got more skills to give out. Lucina, for instance, is one of my absolute favorites, and I have a ton invested in her, so she's very valuable to me. So if you want to use Azura as a fodder factory, I think that is an excellent choice, and you're going to have a lot of fun, and everyone's going to get Wings of Mercy. It's going to be absolutely incredible. If you're interested in the Sharena video that I just talked about, I'm going to put a link here. Thank you so much to the members. You guys are absolutely amazing. And a special thanks tonight to FJ, Ilya, and Izzy for helping me with the skills. These things are incredibly hard to parse through, and they actually make it to where I don't sound like an idiot. So thank you guys. Take care and schedule an appointment with your FEHologist real soon.